All right.
Who's the fella in the chair?
It's Mr. Skinner.
We are calling the case versus Mr. Skinner and Sadie Jackson. Mr. Skinner, you stand here today accused of the attempted murder of Sadie Jackson, justice of the peace of the peoples of Sundance. How does the defense plea?
Not guilty.
You'll have to go put your tools on the hole.
All right. First, I would like the prosecutor to make their opening statements. Then, Mr. Skinner, you may follow up with yours.
Thank you.
And then, the prosecutor will call its first witnesses.
Upstairs.
You may cross-examine if you so desire, Mr. Dennis. Then afterwards, if you have any witnesses, you may call them forth, ask them your questions, and the prosecutor will cross-examine.
Your Honor, may I ask that you please inform Mr. Skinner that his lack of representation cannot be used as grounds for a mistrial or appeal?
Do you understand the terms of this, Mr. Skinner?
Yes, I do.
Very well.
Very well.
The court will take note that he has accepted these terms.
The prosecution intends to prove that Mr. Skinner did indeed attempt to murder Miss Sadie Jackson in the swamp on or around November 11th at, I believe it is 1300 Gunsmoke time. During that, we will call two witnesses. We will call Mr. Skinner himself, and we call his sister, Ms. Savannah Skinner. If it pleases the court, the prosecution calls Mr. Dennis Skinner to the stand. Please state your name for the record. Your full name.
Dennis Ernest P. Skinner.
Mr. Skinner, please state your place of residence and your trade for the record.
Taylor and the swamp.
Where are you from, Mr. Skinner? Where were you before you came to Gunsmoke?
We have a deep-rooted history in Gunsmoke. We lived here quite some time. Blackwater Swamp.
So you were here last season before we were forced to evacuate for the cows?
Yeah. Just didn't see me.
So you went the entire time without anybody knowing of your existence?
Sure.
And in that time, you had no interactions with the legal system in any way, form, or fashion?
No.
Very well. How many people live with you in the swamp?
3 others. My sister, my brother, and my other sister.
Would you state their names, please?
Savannah Skinner, Samantha Skinner, and Billy Skinner.
Very well. What are their trades?
Barber, blacksmith, and farmer.
Understood. So, who's in charge of your homestead there in the swamp? Who's
Me.
the boss? You are. So you're the patriarch, the patriot. You're the protector. You're in charge of everything that goes on in the swamp.
That's right.
You said you and sister were riding around the swamp and came across a horse, but that you had passed out from swamp gas. Is that correct?
Yes.
So your sister's statement that you fought off the alligators attacking Ms. Jackson is a fabrication?
I didn't fight off no gators. She did.
Well, that's not what her sworn statement says.
Remember, I passed out.
Well, I would think you would remember fighting alligators before passing out.
Where were you? Goddamn defecting alligators.
No, understood. Where were you when you woke up, sir?
At my house.
You were in your house. According to your statement, your sister told you that someone was attacked by gators and that someone else was allegedly threatening your sister, asking her questions. Is that correct?
Yes.
Which one of your sisters informed you of that?
Savannah.
Savannah?
Yeah.
How could she have informed you of that if she was protecting the horses and fending off the alleged questions and threats?
Told me when she got back.
That's not what your sworn statements say, sir.
What does my sworn statement say? Because I'm pretty sure it says that she told me about it. I didn't specifically say a time, did I?
Well,
When
the
I
implication
woke up,
in
she
your...
told me.
when you woke up.
Yeah.
So, you had been informed of these alleged threats. You didn't bother to leave your homestead in the swamp for any way after that. For any purpose.
Oh, sure.
But you're swearing to that here in this court of law.
Yep.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Miss Savannah Skinner to the stand. Ma'am, please state your full name for the record.
Savannah Bertha Skinner.
And Miss Skinner, what is your place of residence and trade for the record?
I live in the Skinner Swamp. I trade as a farmer.
And who is the nominal head of household in your residence?
Used to be my pa, but now my brother Dennis.
Okay, and you guys have been in Gunsmoke all along, he said. Is that true?
Yep, that's true.
Okay. So, Mr. Skinner, he's your patriarch. How does he respond to threats normally? In your observation?
He's not my patriarch, he's my brother. My brother was my patriarch.
He's a head of household, is he not?
Yeah, that don't mean he's a patriarch.
Okay, Ms. Skinner, in your statement to Deputy Gold, you said you witnessed Miss Jackson being attacked by, and I'm going to quote here, a lot of alligators. Is that true?
No, that ain't true.
Then why did your handwritten statement to Miss Sheriff Shively state that you and your brother fought off at least 10 alligators?
You just said that he said I witnessed her getting attacked by gators. I never said that. Statement didn't say that.
Okay, then, but your handwritten statement to Sheriff Shively did say you personally you and your brother, fought off 10 alligators, at least, 10 or more. Is it correct?
That is correct, yes.
But you just said that you did not witness the alligator attack.
You said that the Deputy Holden said I said that I witnessed Sadie getting attacked by the gators. That's false. I said in my statement that I and my brother were fighting off the gators near her horse.
So, Deputy Gold, a legal professional, a deputy, is incorrect in his taking of your statement, your verbal statement on that day?
Yeah, I never saw her get attacked by gators. So, yes, he's incorrect.
So you saw the alligators attacking the horse. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's correct. I saw that gators attacking the horse.
Okay, well, other law enforcement there examined that horse, and there were no injuries on that horse. How did you explain that if you saw alligators attacking the horse?
I'm not no doctor. I don't know how that works.
You are a farmer, correct?
Yeah, but I don't know nothing about horses. I just know about dogs.
Well, you'd be able to recognize an injury on an animal, would you not?
Well, if I wouldn't have been there to save that horse probably would have been a lot more injured than it was.
There were no injuries at all.
How do
We'll
you
move
know?
on here.
How do they know that?
Sworn statements, Ms. Skinner. Ms. Skinner, at the time of this incident, were you an active deputy in the town of Keystone?
Yes, I was.
And did you have access to a pair of restraints that are generally carried by law enforcement?
Pair, like handcuffs?
Yes, some handcuffs.
Yeah, I had a pair of them. Uh-huh.
And have those restraints ever left your possession, other than in legal use while apprehending someone?
I never had to do that. I've only been a deputy for about 5 days.
So those handcuffs never left your possession, is what you're saying?
Well, they were always in my, my box right beside my bed. That's where I kept them.
You didn't carry them on you when you were awake and out and about?
Nope, I didn't. Probably should have, but that's why I got fired from my deputy job, because I wasn't too good of one. So
Or is that the reason you got fired from your position as deputy in town of Keystone?
I don't know. I never got told. So that's a whole nother story. We don't gotta get into that.
Well, actually, it might have bearing to this case, but we'll move on in that one for the moment. Okay, one moment here. All right, so you've already said that the statement that Deputy Gold took from you, saying that Miss Sadie was attacked by alligators, was false. It was fabricated or something along those lines. Is that correct?
Yes, it's false. I never said it was fabricated. I just know that there's a lot of shit going on that day. Lots of people screaming, lots of people all over the place, lots of people passing out, and maybe there was a misunderstanding. Okay.
So, your written statement to Sheriff Shibley said you assumed that Miss Sadie Jackson was injured by alligators, but all you saw was the attack on the horse. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so there are no alligator bites on her. There's shotgun wound, where she actually dug shotgun pellets out of Miss Jackson. And I'm pretty certain alligators don't have shotguns. Do you guys have a shotgun on your homestead?
Yeah, I think so. Someone does. I used to have a shotgun, but lost it. Okay,
so further examination of Ms. Jackson after the attempt on her life, pardon me, indicated that she had been restrained at the wrists because there were significant ligature marks, bruises on her wrist. Do you understand that?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Now, if she had been restrained by soft restraints, i.e. a belt or a rope, there would be friction burns or abrasions, friction abrasions on her wrist. Trust me on that one, it's how it works. However, her bruising showed absolutely no friction marks. It just had the ligature marks, and a clinical investigation indicated that those ligature marks were the same size and caused by the hard restraints that are normally carried by legal officers such as yourself at the time.
Wow. Well, that's something, huh?
It is something indeed. It's quite coincidental. And you said that you never ever carried your shackles on you during the course of your day. It was always in your nightstand. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
So, does your brother have access to your room?
He got access, but would he ever go in there? I don't think so. My room.
That's not what I asked you, ma'am. I just asked if he had access. Can he get into your room?
Yeah, he can.
All right, and he can get into the box where you kept your handcuffs. Is that true?
Yeah.
So it is not entirely inconceivable he could have gone into your room and gotten the cuffs out of your box and used them.
I guess it's possible.
That's all I asked, yes. And you said there is a shotgun on premises. I'm assuming that Mr. Skinner has access to that shotgun as well. Is that correct?
No, I don't think so.
But you said you didn't know where it was.
Talking about my shotgun. My shotgun I lost, but Sammy got one.
Does she carry it on her?
I don't know.
Okay. So, assuming it was on premises, he has access to that shotgun also, correct?
That's not my shotgun. So.
I didn't ask about your shotgun, ma'am. I asked about the shotgun. The other one.
Shotgun.
The one you're not.
Well,
the one you were not carrying.
I don't know where it was, so how am I supposed to answer that?
Understood. Thank you very much for your time, Miss Savannah. I'm done with this witness, Your Honor.
How many people do you think are in this county? Roughly. Spitball.
Boy County?
Yeah.
Probably like, maybe like 100 or so. I don't know. Maybe.
And how many do you think own shotguns?
If there's 100, probably like 100.
Oh, it's definitely possible that other people in this county can have shotguns, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's fair to say that for our homestead to own shotguns, not that rare of a thing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's rare at all, considering them gators we gotta deal with.
I'm about to say that, especially those gators. Now, do you know Miss Jackson personally, Savannah? I know I don't.
No, I think I met her passing once, but never knew her by name.
Now, the, what was it again? There, on her wrist, what was the word you used?
Ligature marks.
Ligature marks. Think it's possible that she got those any other way?
Objection, Your Honor. The witness is not qualified to testify to that.
Sustained.
Okay, let me rephrase. I just find it hard to believe that those ligature marks were made by your handcuffs, man.
Objection, Your Honor. That question was not directed to the witness.
Sustained. Ms. Dennis, please keep your questions simple and to the point.
So you were there, you were not there for any of the preceding incidents.
No.
So you did not directly witness anything other than, I believe you dragged Miss Sammy back to the house?
I did not drag her, no. People from Sundance were all over the swamp, including one person getting in my face when I found my friend's horse alone, and I was questioning whether or not where she was. Everybody else was so concerned about this Sadie Jackson, threatening me, yelling at me, being very rude when I really didn't give a shit about her. I was more concerned about my friend.
Please
So,
answer the question. Did you witness any of the items? Did you witness anything prior to your friend, Miss Sammy or Miss Savannah passing out?
I am answering the question, but you won't let me finish. You're saying that I drag people around, and I'm letting you know that during that time that people were running around from Sundance in the swamp, they had dragged Savannah and Sammy onto the bank along with other people where they had set up a teepee.
Okay, that's sufficient. Thank you. Your Honor, this witness has absolutely no relevance to the case of the attempted murder. I ask that her testimony be stricken from the record.
No further witnesses. You are only allotted 2 apiece. You may now make your closing statements.
May it please the court? Prosecution freely admits that the lack of true physical evidence and eyewitnesses are a detriment to finding Mr. Dennis Skinner guilty of attempted murder. But I do believe we have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that malfeasance was not only committed, it was done by one or more of the Skinner family. The inconsistencies of their statement at the time of the incident, the written statements they themselves provided, and their testimony here all point to their involvement in the alleged incident. Actually, it's not even alleged. Ms. Jackson was, assaulted. The condition Ms. Jackson ended up in proves the crime of attempted murder did occur. There is no real stretch of credibility to believe that one or more of the Skinner family was behind it. They had means, motive, and opportunity. The shotgun that was hidden on the family farm was their means. Their attitude of, this is my swamp, where they require permission to harvest trees, harvest oil,
tools, anything,
all that. That's the motive.
You could just put it on your horse there.
And their inconsistent statements of location and actions proved that the opportunity was clearly present. In my opinion, the only real question that arises from this proceeding is, did we arrest enough of the Skinner family in regards to the criminal charge of attempted murder? That in itself is a question for another day and another trial. The question in front of us today is, did Dennis Skinner participate in the criminal attack on Miss Sadie Jackson? And I think we have proven that he was.
You can just let me look.
We thank the court for its time and its indulgence.
Put your hands up.
Well, we've heard a lot of big fancy words here today. But I think the best way to say this and close this out is just say a few simple words. Yes, we are very territorial people. Yes, we ask the people for their respect when they're on our land, and we do hail claim of the whole swamp. We have never harmed anyone that has stepped onto our land, but we have confronted them and have asked them for the courtesy. Simply let them know when they are picking in our backyard. That's all we want. Now, you could say that that's very hostile, the people would say. And you could say that's pretty much cause that, that could be a reason on why one of us may have attacked Sadie. Oh my. I'm not trying to make fun of the situation that a woman did get attacked. Was it one of us? Doubtful. We've had a number of family friends, personal friends, family members roaming around the swamp here now and then, doing what they please, poaching, getting oil. Yeah. No trouble with them. No trouble with anyone. How's this any different? Just because this one person was attacking the swamp, let's blame the swamp people?
You come for the
Not very
first?
good. Now, throughout the trial, ladies and gentlemen, I have been quite distracted and preoccupied as of late in questions of morality, right and wrong, good and evil. See, I think this whole thing's a big shame. I think that's the only thing that we got here today. Because she was attacked in the swamp, we got to blame swamp people. We need some justice for what happened to poor Sadie. Seems to me we got a bit of a headhunt on us. We've been harassed quite a bit. But to me, the only thing that I see that you truly have is inconsistency in statements. I would ask, what are those inconsistencies? I think it was pretty clear on what happened. You found a horse. I passed out. I got took home. My sister confronted by a whole lynch mob. Passed out too with her sister. Woke up and went home. I think that's the only thing that happened. What happened to Sadie Jackson? Well, nobody really knows. Nobody knows, Your Honor. For us to be blamed for it, well, I think that we deserve the right to have a far, far more evidence than just, I believe he did it. Inconsistencies. You just want a hell to roll. You just want someone to blame. That ain't me. That ain't me.
As it stands, there is no hard proof. Because there was no direct witness willing to step forward on Sadie's behalf saying that she was in fact shot by Mr. Skinner. I know everyone wants justice for Sadie, but without indisputable proof, I must claim Dennis innocent. If there is nothing further, I'd like to adjourn this court.
That was quick.
Mr. Skinner, let's because you've been sleeping for 3 years, my old friend.
Ah, that seems about right.
That was a fucking shit
No,
show.
I'm pretty sure it was an accident.
Yes, the prosecution is a mess.
I know. What the fuck was he doing?
Dude,
And what the
like he's
fuck
trying to tell
was
us
the
a
judge
story.
doing, or rather not doing?
I need to read.
All right, anybody that just has a casual conversation, please move away from the courthouse.